What is up, everybody? We are live right now. What's up, Yoel? How you doing, bro?
What's going on?
What's going on, brother? Yeah, we are live right now with the Painless Flipping Podcast. And if this is your first time tuning into the Painless Flipping Podcast, what we do is we talk about where people are right now in their journey and where they want to go. Or if we get other investors that have been in a long time, we talk about their first deal and where they're at right now and how that first deal got them there. But I have an awesome guest today. And, the purpose of bringing you on, Yoel, and anybody on is really so we can dive in and learn from your experience so we can help other people get better at what they're trying to do, get more deals, and not have to suffer and go through all the pain of trying to figure out themselves, because we're all about painless flipping and learning from other people so we don't have to suffer. Because you know how it is, man. Like when I first started, I'm sure when you first started, there's a lot of pain involved, and we want to try and stop that as much as we can,
Yeah, man, it hasn't been an easy road. It's still not an easy road as it is, but
Right. But it definitely gets easier, right? Like imagine where you're at right now versus when you first started. You
Exactly.
probably got a ton of experience just from off of just like taking action, right?
Exactly. Just that proof of concept as well. Once you get that first deal, man, and then once you get that, you could take 6 months to get your first deal and you get that first one. Then a week later, you get another one. And then 2 weeks later, you get another one. And it's the momentum train.
That's exactly right. So Yoel, take about 30 seconds to introduce yourself. And once you kind of tell people who you are, let everybody know how we got connected, and how you found out about reaching out to me.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously my name is Yoel. I was originally born in Cuba and I came over here at a somewhat young age. I was like 6 or 7 years old. And ever since then, I lived in Miami and recently moved up here to Orlando. Moved out of my parents' house. I live by myself now, which is great.
Congrats, bro.
Yeah, thank you. And then me and Nate got connected through Instagram. I just every time. Well, it ties up to one of the deals, but
yeah,
I could just get into it already.
Yeah. So we'll just kind of go over what you said. So you came from Cuba when you were young, lived in Miami, and now you decided to move and you live by yourself in Orlando and you're doing deals in Orlando, right? Is that all right?
I'm doing deals, not really in Orlando. It's kind of a weird market. I was actually thinking about this today. I was making offers in Orlando and I was like, man, I hate it here. I'm going back to Tampa.
Okay.
But I'm mostly making offers and doing deals in Tampa. That's where most of it has come from, and Cape Coral as well.
I love it. Okay, so now you live by yourself. You're an investor. You've been doing deals. Tell everybody how we got connected. Curious.
Yeah. So, well, I found you on YouTube originally. I found you on YouTube, like most people do, through Nathan Valley.
Oh, yeah.
I was watching the series that he had where it was the 30-day challenge. And I was scraping to find it because it's not on YouTube. So I was like going crazy trying to find it. And then I found the Facebook and then it was on there.
Yep.
But in case people want to find it, it's on the Facebook group.
Yeah, under guides. We got the whole 30-day challenge. Okay, so were you watching that when he went live the first time, or did you find it eventually?
No, I found it eventually. I found the replays.
Okay.
And man, when I tell you, I binged your content for like an entire weekend. It was like from a Friday to a Monday, right? Because I was at this point where I had closed my first deal already. I had moved up here to Orlando. And then I was at a point where I'm like, crap, I have nothing in the pipeline. I got to pay bills in like a month. And I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, so if I get a job, it's going to take me a month to pay the rent and pay all the bills. So I got to get a job. I'm like, crap, what do I do? So I just found you, God given. And I started binging your content and for an entire weekend. And my first day at that job was on a Sunday, right? By that Monday, I had a deal sold.
Bro, so, that's nuts.
Yeah. And then basically all I did was I went over because I already had some existing buyers.
Okay.
And I said, okay, where is my strongest buyer? And it was this one lady in Cape Coral, and she overpays on absolutely everything. I have no idea why, but
hey, let's go.
Yeah, she had bought my first deal. So what was I saying? So I looked at her and then I was like, okay, now what's the quickest way I could get a deal in the pipeline? I have a lot of friends that do deals. Let me go see if they got anything. My one friend, Ruben, he had something in Cape Coral that he had just locked up that same day. Well, he had actually locked it up on a Sunday. He sent it to me that Sunday, and I kind of just brushed over it. I was kind of like,
Yeah.
But then on that Monday, I was like, let me see. Let me check it out. So I checked it out. Numbers looked good. So I was like, screw it. Let me send it over.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent it over to her, and sure enough, she liked it, and we got it done.
Wow.
Kind of.
Okay.
So she originally, sometimes as wholesalers, we go in and we offer to pay both sides of the closing costs.
Yeah.
She didn't want to do that. She was dead set on not paying both sides of the closing costs. So originally we had given her, so originally it was like if I'm not mistaken, like a 20 grand spread.
Okay.
20K spread. So originally she had offered 15, like where we'd make 15. So I can't remember. I don't know the exact number, but we were down to a 15K spread. Then on top, after that, some like issues came up, this and that, with the seller. So that brought our fee down to 10. Then she found out
sometimes
big deals get small, small deals disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, she found out about the whole closing cost thing when she saw the assignment. She was at the bank, ready to put in the deposit, ready to go. And she's like, I'm not buying this. I'm not paying both sides of the closing costs. God knows if, they have taxes or whatever. And I'm trying to tell her, like, no, you're not going to have to pay that. You're not going to have to pay the commission. She's like, but what if they put it on me? Blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to Ruben. I was like, dude, can we just get the deal done, bro? Like, she's right there. And thank God he was like, yeah, bro, how much does she want off? She wants another 4K off. All right, whatever. We gave it to her, and it ended up being a $6,000 spread, which we split.
Mm-hmm.
So I made $3 grand from that, which was, hey, great. I got to pay my bills that month. I got to work. I got to have, another month where I get to just grind.
Is that the first one you did?
Second.
That was okay. So you're telling me about the second one. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
And so the like first one you did.
About you.
Okay, this is the first one that you did, your second deal, but the first one with the process that you found out from
which
okay, got it.
Find the buyer first, and before anything, I had her already in my database. I already knew what she wanted. I was somewhat friends with her, so I had a good relationship. And then I sent her this deal, and she told me she could pay this amount. I went back to him. I was like, she could pay this amount. And he had another buyer walking it, but that buyer was kind of on edge. Yeah. So he's like, let's just get it done.
And that's what happens a lot of the time is like your buyer doesn't always have to pay the most. It just needs to be the most serious most of the time, like the most sure. Because I've had a lot of deals where my buyers come in a little bit less, but the other ones that paid more, the wholesaler that I'm working with is like, I don't know if I feel very confident with this guy. He's kind of flaky. So they'll go with the lower. And the same thing when when I'm selling a deal on the MLS to like buyers, right? I want to work with someone that is a sure thing versus the one that says he can pay the most and is going to rock me later.
Exactly. Because they could say they'll pay the most and they'll come and they'll try and retrade you. They'll renegotiate you. And it's
exactly.
Like, why would you do that? But you want to know something funny about it?
Yeah,
funny. It was actually a 5-day closing, super quick, because she was all cash.
Yeah.
Which is rare to find. You would think it's pretty easy to find, but somebody that actually comes in with cash, not hard money, cash.
Yeah, that is very rare. Most people will use hard money.
Exactly. No private lenders, no nothing. It's her money. So second thing, we tried to go for a retrade. So we try to renegotiate, come have the seller come down and maybe get a little bit bigger of a spread.
Of course. Why not?
And, yeah. So Ruben had went in and I think we were locked up at 200. So he had offered, he's like, hey, mind you, he's the master at renegotiation. Like he is that guy.
Nice.
And he had said like, okay, we need to be at like 185 or it's not happening. And then they come back to us and they're like, go ahead, cancel. We have an offer at 210. We want you to cancel. And we're like, huh?
You're
So
like, you sure about that?
we're like, huh? So they're like, the most we could give you is $1,000 off. Mind you, he had asked for a $15,000 reduction.
hmm
And then we look like idiots because we agreed to the $1,000 reduction.
Bro, that's interesting because I just sold the deal on the MLS in Fort Lauderdale, and I listed it on the MLS, and they offered 390, and then they came back after inspection and were like, "Hey, we need $10,000 off," and I was like, "Nah, I'm about to put this thing. I got way more offers," and they're like, "Oh, well, can you just give us something?" And then we eventually agreed to 2,000 because just we wanted to get it done. Kind of probably they were just like, "Fine, we'll just give you something,"
Yeah.
but whether it's wholesalers, investors, whether it's someone's going to buy the house and live in it, everyone tries to go in after seeing the inspection or what needs to be done, and they ask for a reduction. That's just kind of the process.
Yeah. They played us.
Yeah, that's just how it is, man. So that's amazing. So you were able to go on and see on the YouTube channel, go through Nathan Valley's 30-day challenge, and within binging it for that and some content within a couple days, right? You said you were able to get this deal locked up, and then it sold within 5 days. So
Yeah.
what was the total turnaround from the first time you watched the videos to when you got paid?
Friday to Friday.
So 7 days, right?
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's insane. So let me ask you about this, because this is important too. It's because a lot of people, they want giant spreads, right? They want like 15, 50,000, which is great. But I see a lot of checks that are misleading. They're like, oh, I made $50,000. I made $20,000. And then they don't tell you it took them a whole year to get it. And they've spent every day cold calling for 8 hours and $20,000
in marketing.
$30,000 in marketing, $10,000 on a coach, 8 hours of their life, and they don't tell you all that. So this truly didn't cost you any money, right?
My overhead every single month is $100.
$100.
$200. Sorry. Privy and go high level.
That's amazing. See, and that's the thing that I try to preach to everybody. It's like, look, like there's these companies, like I see big real estate companies that like they're like, oh, we just did an $80,000 deal. We just did a $60,000 deal. It's like, hey, bro, that's great, but I know your marketing budget is like $250,000 a month. Like you got to do that in order to pay your disposition reps. You got to pay your acquisitions, your marketing, your overhead, your office. So they don't tell you all that. So you have to have the strategy that I'm telling you guys, because even if you have marketing and you're doing good on that, having this strategy where you can see a deal and you're immediately like, hey, I got that guy that would want that. That didn't cost you any money, and it's just a cherry on top to make that kind of money. And it's very quick. And how much time would you say? So you said Friday to Friday, but hours. How many hours did you really spend to do the deal?
Man, I spent a decent amount of time on the phone with that lady, trying to get her to put in that earnest money.
I bet.
But I'd say total probably 4 hours. Total everything.
You said a decent amount of time, 4 hours.
So really, that's like combining a couple 10, 20-minute phone calls, the dispo process, the inspections.
And you said 4 hours?
Yeah.
And it was the $3,000 that you got on your end?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
What is that per hour? Let me see.
That's $750 an hour.
Look at that.
That's sick, bro. I love it. And you've done some deals since then, right? Since that first one?
Yeah. Definitely. And
any with the same strategy, or did you? Yeah, let's talk about those.
So I was like, picking up from there, I was like, okay, perfect. I got this deal done. Now I need to start getting some consistency. So I need some systems, processes. All a system and process is taking your hustle and making it replicatable and being able to have consistency. So I signed up and to this program, and it was built on top of Go High Level, and it's essentially an AI that will go in and will negotiate and make offers for you, right?
That's it. On top of Go High Level, you said?
Yeah, it's built on Go High Level.
Cool.
So it's one of those white labels.
What is it called, by the way?
Whole Tech.
Okay, cool.
So I went in and I bought it on Halloween night, that Halloween. So by the next morning I was A2P approved, which was terrified for my life.
That's so fast though, bro.
I actually just got another Go High Level account, and it was same thing next morning.
Wow. Congrats.
Yeah, I came up with some really like good scripts that you could use, and if you sign up as a sole proprietor, it's like that.
Awesome.
But Anyways, so I got that, and then the first thing I did was obviously I went in and I called some buyers just to get an idea of where I should start making offers, and I chose Tampa.
Nice.
So I was like, okay, let's make some offers in Tampa. I found this one buyer. His name is Barry, and this dude didn't answer my calls at all. And I was like,
They
hey,
usually don't because they're really busy, right?
never. Buyers don't like to be called
Yeah.
at all. So, guys, if you ever are calling buyers and they don't answer, text them. Trust me. Most of the time, they will answer on the text. So, what was I saying? So, yeah, I found this one buyer. And then after that, he texted me. He was like, send address and price. And I was like, well, all right. This guy's probably a whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever, I start making offers. I have the system start running. Second offer I send out, lady calls me back. She was like, all right, let's do it. And I was like, all right, cool.
Wow.
So I lock it up, but I didn't think anything of it, because sometimes you can lock up contracts and whatever.
Right.
It was the first day, so I wasn't expecting much.
Are these off the MLS or is this
Yeah,
okay.
Privy.
Okay.
So I just pulled the list from Privy, uploaded it onto it, and then I just had it start blasting.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, we locked it up, and I was looking at it, I was like, damn, there's not much room in here. Because the deal was good. It was one day on market. The deal was super solid at the list price. So I had locked it up $10,000 below list day one, which is decent.
Right.
So I was like, I theoretically could add a $15,000 spread, $10,000 spread, but then I'd be selling at list price.
Right.
I don't want that. So I was like, okay, let's at least give some room to it. I'll add 5.
Right.
So I added 5, and I was like, let me text this Barry guy. He just said send address and price. I texted him, and then he was like, looks good. Send me contract.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I was like,
you're like, is this for real?
I was like, all right. And then I was like, are you being serious? And he was like, yeah, send me the contract. I was like, all right. So I sent him the contract, and then whatever, he signs it. He's like, where do I deposit? I told him, call title. He calls title, makes a deposit.
That sounds like the easiest deal ever.
It gets better. It gets easier.
Wow.
It gets better. So remember how I was telling you about the whole escrow deposit thing?
Yeah.
Same buyer. So I was like, man, this guy's VIP worthy. So I'm making offers. A week later, I make an offer to one of the biggest like flippers in Tampa that they just had a property on the MLS, Tampa Standard. And so they had a property on the MLS. They didn't want to buy it. So it was a pump and dump basically.
Yeah.
So I made an offer, and it was day one on market, same thing. And they took it. But with the contingency that I put escrow $10,000 within 24 hours. That was their big thing.
Wow.
Like, crap. I'm not going to put down 10 grand.
No.
Because the inspection was little to none. It was like 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put down 10 grand. And if I put this under contract, I'm not sure if I could find somebody to put down 10 grand in 24 hours.
Right. You got to be quick with it.
So I was like, let me text this Barry guy again. So I was like, hey, bro, this is the situation. I got this house. It's in my inbox. I can sign whenever I want. So don't try nothing funny. So I can sign whenever I want. But here's the situation. I need $10,000 in escrow. They're only giving me 24 hours. You're the only person I'm sending this to. Can you go out there, check it out, and let me know before I even sign this thing? And he was like, yeah, done. He was 5 minutes away from the property. He went, he drove it. He texted me back. He was like, looks good. Send me contract. I was like,
yes, let's go. Barry.
So I signed it, made the assignment, sent it to him.
Wow.
But he was getting on a flight that same day. So we cut it so close. I think it was like hour 22 or something. And he made the deposit, and we closed that one in like 7 days.
Man, this Barry guy's legit, bro.
And the other $5,000 one, kept getting pushed back because the tenants didn't want to leave. So
Yeah.
eventually, I'm not going to give them cash for keys because my spread ain't big.
Yeah.
So I convinced the owner to give him cash for keys. So the owner
Good.
gave him like $5,000. They left like a day before closing, but we ended up that went from being a 10-day close to a 35-day close.
It happens a lot too with tenants being involved. It
Yeah,
never usually ends up being what you think it will, when they move out.
exactly. So we closed that one up, and yeah,
Dang, that's really amazing that you're getting these agents to accept on day 1 or day 2 of the listing, right? Because they're probably getting hit up a lot. So you're pulling these lists from Privy, and immediately your little AI bots sending out the offer and talking to them, right? All through text or email.
all through text. And then when I see that it's starting to get warm, I give them a call, just
Yeah,
so I
you
can be
take
like,
over.
yeah. Since then, I'm not using that system anymore.
Mhm.
I'm going back and taking more of a call approach, just
Yeah,
because I feel like that's a better way to build a more sustainable business.
yeah,
So I'm back to making calls, and right now the the KPIs are I'm trying to make 10 offers a day and have at
nice.
least 25 agent conversations. Um,
Dang. Okay. Have you one thing you should check out? Did you ever check out the CRM that I use? It's called painlesscrm.com. You
no,
ever look at that?
I haven't
So
looked at it.
so I know a guy from Arizona. He built it off of Go High Level. It's called Auto MLS. It's called Auto MLS CRM, but I just white labeled it for Painless CRM because I like to send people to it. I use it, and what it does is it automatically sends out a letter of intent to real estate agents. I don't know if you've seen that before, but it will send out the letter of intent. It will just takes the listing price that they have or the Zillow price and offers like 70-80%. You get to choose what percentage it sends it off at. And then basically what we do is just depending on who responds, that's who we call, because if they respond to it, you at least know that
Some sort of motivation.
yeah, there's some sort of motivation. So we never expect them to accept the offer because it's usually a lot lower, but it's more of like, oh, let's see who is even responsive to this. So that's what I use it for. And you can check it out. There's like a demo if you go to Painless CRM. If you're looking at just seeing how it works, you can get it
Definitely.
demoed.
Yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah, but that's another way. Because for me, the most important thing is let me get someone on the phone. That's it. That's like, let me talk to somebody or let me get someone on the phone. That's the most important thing for me. But yeah, bro, it sounds like you've had some quick deals, and bro, it's crazy. Some people, they go months and years without getting a deal. Like I just saw on a Facebook group I'm a part of, some guy was like stoked about getting a deal. He did like a 20K deal. Good for him, right? Good. He did a good job. But it took him a year of cold calling part-time for a year. And I'm like, bro, 4 hours a day for a year to get your first deal. That sucks, right? That's not that cool. I mean, good for him, but it sucks.
Can I tell you something? That was me.
Yeah.
That was me. That was literally me.
That was your post, dude. I'm sorry, man. I roasted you.
You
posted that?
Okay. No, that wasn't me.
Okay.
That was me that posted that, but that was my situation.
Yeah. And that's how I started too, bro. That's how I started.
It took me almost a year. And but I know what my problem was. Shiny object syndrome.
Yep.
I would go and I'd do text blasting. Then I would do cold calling. Then after that, I would go make offers for like a month. Then after that, I would go try and do dispo. And then it was just bouncing around from one thing to another. It all works, but you just have to stay consistent. And eventually I met my friend Zach, and he told me, I was at the time trying to do dispo for other people. And he was like, just do acquisitions. Like, just make offers on the MLS. I was like, man, that don't work. And he was like, come here, I'll hold your hand. And he basically handheld me all the way to my first deal.
Wow.
And yeah.
That's amazing. And what you're doing right now, bro, it's what I believe is the most cost efficient, I mean, I saw on your Facebook, you call yourself the lazy wholesaler, right?
Yeah, that was my Instagram.
No, your Instagram. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I like that just because like a lot of people pride themselves like, man, I work so hard. It's like, bro, it's cool if you work hard, but I'm trying to be efficient and profitable. I ain't trying to like say I can do 20 deals when I can do 3 and make the same amount of money. I'd rather not do that many,
Exactly.
So especially if it's like requires a ton more effort and work. So the strategy of like having good go-to buyers and knowing where they buy and being known in your market where you focus on as the guy that has the best buyers, agents will start to bring you stuff. Wholesalers just start to bring you stuff. It's like the New Western, Keegley, all those guys, like they're just known as like the go-to people. Equity
Exactly.
pros, like they have deals all the time. Why? Because like, oh, these guys have the buyers. These guys, like, you know, I should bring my deals. Like, that's what you want to establish yourself as, is like, hey, I'm the guy that has the relationships. I have the relationships with the buyers. I'm not just saying I'm the buyer. Like a bunch of wholesalers lie, like, I'm gonna buy it. No, man. Like either maybe you do buy it, but really tell people, hey, I know everybody that does buy it. I have the best buyers. I can help you move your deals quick. So that's what I
But don't
think is the
lie
best.
either. Don't have 5 buyers in your CRM and then tell them I have 1,000 buyers. No.
Yeah. No, be real. People can see past you gotta be real. They can see past the fake. You know, they can see if you're not being real, especially with buyers, bro. If you call a buyer that's legit and you're like, yeah, man, sometimes I buy deals and sometimes I don't, and they're like, come on, bro. I know who you are.
Yeah. Like
So
when agents tell me, like the whole big thing with on market is everyone's scared about the assignment clause. I have one line and it works 100% of the time. For now, just put it in this LLC. I'm not sure what I want to close on yet. I have a lot of different exit strategies. Sometimes I hold it, sometimes I flip it, sometimes I wholesale it. I don't know yet, to be honest. So also it's just tax purposes. So if you could just put the assigns, that would be great.
yeah. Have you had any pushback on someone saying, nah,
One time.
one
One
time?
time. And that wasn't even the agent. It was because the seller, a wholesaler, had held him out for like 45 days and then nothing.
Yeah. So when an agent doesn't want to put that on there, for me, I'm not even worried about it, because in the long run, like they're not going to let that hold up the transaction. Like if you're about to close, you can just be like, look, I'm buying it with my partner. Everything's the exact same. I need you to add it in there. Like they're
And
not gonna have a problem.
especially if EMD is in.
Yeah.
If EMD is in, they won't care. You're
No.
closing.
Yeah, they don't care if the thing that they care about is like getting strung along for 45 days. Nobody wants that to happen. So if you just said your line was perfect, and if it does happen, I wouldn't put it. I would just make sure that you have a buyer before your due diligence is over. As long as you got that, don't worry. The assignment can come later, or double. I don't really like to double close because it costs money. You know, you got to pay for the double closing and the
Yeah.
closing costs. What's up?
One thing you can do is there's a title company here in Orlando.
Okay.
They'll actually do a double escrow. So they'll do pass through funding. So essentially you can just
Amazing.
have, but the buyer has to agree to it.
Hmm.
You can have the buyer fund your transaction and then their transaction. And then
Yep.
essentially there's no closing costs, there's no nothing. The buyer pays for it all.
I've done that a couple times in a couple states, like I think Mississippi, Missouri. That's normal all the time. They just use the funds from the end buyer. So great strategy. You're gonna have to hook me up with that title company that does that.
Yeah.
Because I'm working in Orlando too, right?
Yeah, I did. I know that you work in Orlando, Utah. Was it Vegas as well?
I mainly focus in Utah and Atlanta. Sorry, did I say Atlanta? Utah and Orlando. Yeah. And
man, I don't know what it is. I can't seem to find good deals here. I think you're scooping them all up.
did you start reaching out to those companies that have the deals, like the other wholesaling companies, like Investor Thrive, Equity Pro, stuff like that?
The thing with them is I'm noticing that they sell a lot of deals to buy and hold, because a lot of their deals don't have great spreads. So when I'm here collecting all these fix and flippers to add to my database, and then I'm getting these deals from, I get these emails every day. I'm on almost every wholesaler in Florida's, every single wholesaler in Florida that's a big company. You can best believe I'm on the email.
And there's tons of deals.
A bunch. I could type in Orlando right now in my email, and I'll have too many to count. But the thing is, just they're not great. They're not great. And when you have 10,000 buyers,
So just be aware of this. I've talked to a lot of those companies that have those deals, and my strategy is to get tight with a lot of them and just be like, hey, I'm your guy. I'm the guy that you go to when you got a deal you're about to lose, and you hit me up and I can get you an offer like that. Because a lot of them will have these spreads where the deals aren't that good, but what they're not telling you is they're not selling a lot of them, or they're taking really big price reductions and accepting offers that are lower because they have a spread. So it's kind of like the MLS. A lot of people look at the MLS like, man, this ain't a deal. It's like, well, you don't know that they actually ended up accepting an offer that's $50,000 less, but they just got tied up and then they did the inspection and they found stuff. So they were brought down. So there are spreads you just have to kind of call. And I say, hey, if it looks like the house needs to be repaired or there's motivation involved, make the right offer and just stick in the fight, and you'll be able to win a lot of those.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
But that just comes down to finding the buyers first and then the deals later. That's always the way to go.
Man. It is, yeah, because before I just went and found deals, and then I was like, let me go look for the buyers. And bro, I spent so much money, marketing money, time, effort, and like in my teams, the momentum, like the morale of the team, like it just depletes when you get a contract that you can't sell and you have to cancel. Everyone's just like, man, I thought we were going to make money on this one. And then it happens again. It's just not the way to go. So you want to make sure you understand your market. Sounds like you're doing it the right way.
And then you're lying, essentially. You're essentially lying to the seller and the buyer, or not the buyer, the seller and the agent. You're telling them you're a buyer, but you have no backing.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. And not only that, but it's like, bro, it's so time consuming to like say, yes, I can do this, sign the paperwork that they send it out to a bunch of people, wait for responses of people you don't know. And you got like 5 days and you're like, it just takes a lot of energy. I mean, we've all done it. It kind of sucks. Like if you do it that way all the time.
Contracts with no buyers.
Yep. Well, hey man, Yoel, this has been a pleasure chatting with you. You've given a lot of insight for everybody. Where can people reach out to you if they want to connect with you, bring you deals, chat with you, learn from you? Where can they reach
definitely.
out?
You can email me, Yoel Martin, my name, _YM @gmail. Or you can DM me on Instagram. It's Yoel, literally. That's my Instagram.
It's just Yoel. That's it.
It's ITSS Yoel. YOU.
Oh, okay. I love that. All right. Well, everybody, you've heard it here first. Check out Yoel. He's doing some good things. He's going to be in the Tampa market. He's got some great buyers. If you got a deal, you got to move quick in that area, hit him up. He'll be able to help you out and you can work it. Yoel, is there one thing, just one piece of advice or one gold nugget you want to leave with everyone before we wrap up? Like that would help them if they've been struggling to do a deal.
Yeah.
What could you tell them?
The best thing that I could say, and this is what I told my friend that he just started, is once you have those buyers, you don't need 1,000. You just need 10, 15 at most. The only barrier between you and the life that you want is 100 offers. Go out there and make 100 offers on MLS properties, and that's it. That's 5 offers a day. Or if you want to do it in 2 weeks, that's 10 offers a day. That's the only thing standing between you and everything that you want in life. So
that's juicy.
Go out there and do it.
And dude, I love what you just said, because it's funny. Like a lot of people that like have been doing this for a year and haven't got a deal. If you sit down and you say, all right, bro, how many real offers have you made? Usually it's like 10, maybe it's like 5. Like they haven't really made the offers. And that's kind of what happened when I first started. I was like grinding, but I wasn't really making anyone any offers. I was just waiting for that one person that I felt was ready for an offer. And it's like, well, dang. And when we say offers, we mean like, you actually like, you got to make a legit written offer. You got to tell someone your offer. You just don't text blast a bunch of offers. That won't work.
Verbal or written. Yeah.
Verbal or written. Exactly. Well, hey, Yoel, thank you so much. And again, everybody that's watching this, they've loved you right here, man. This guy's Yoel. It's Cairo. You know this guy?
No.
Okay. Well, he's saying it looks like he knows you.
Yeah, me, bro.
And then another one. He love it. I just got tapped into Go High Level. Awesome. Outstanding. Me too. People are loving you, brother.
Oh, man. Everybody DM me. Let's do some deals.
Let's do some deals. All right, everybody. We'll catch you on the next Painless Flipping podcast. Peace out.